I heard somebody bitch about it. Oh, okay. You weren't bitching about it. Well, complimenting you for saying fuck. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Immediately, I'm going to hand it off to Yvonne Felinas. Show your love.
Mucho love to you all. Thank you. Happy Friday. I'm Ivan. Want to welcome you all to the Wanda Coleman Theater at Beyond Baroque. Yeah, the stakes are higher now, so bring your best to the podium. And I want to welcome you to Beyond Baroque. This is a place dedicated to the possibilities of language. I'm the programs manager here in this space. It's an honor to be here. And just want to let you know about a few things, including some history about the space and what we have going on. First of all, Beyond Baroque was founded in 1968 by George Sturdy Smith. It began as an experimental literary magazine and evolved into the interdisciplinary art space it is today. We stand on unceded territory. We stand in solidarity with indigenous Tongva, Tataviam, Chumash peoples who have endured colonialism and displacement. We stand against genocide and are committed to provide a space for indigenous artists and communities as they are the original stewards of this land. This building first functioned as Venice City Hall, beginning in 1903 up until 1978. When Beyond Baroque moved out of the original storefront it had in what is now Abbot Kinney. It was just a few blocks away, and now it is housed here in this space, and legendary poets and artists, including Amiri Baraka, Wanda Coleman, Bob Flanagan, punk rock band X members met in this space. And it has been a hub for literary movements over the years, including the Sparring Artists. You can learn more about LA's oldest literary arts organization. It's now 57 years old and has always been a space by and for artists and writers. I encourage you all to sign up to our newsletter. We continue to offer our free Monday night workshop in fiction and our Wednesday night poetry workshop. Both workshops happen weekly virtually, and participants are allowed to develop their individual pieces with a group of people. This is National Poetry Month, April, which, to quote our great poet Scott Wannenberg, it's a very odd month as it is mostly known for tax a month, but for poets, it comes at a time when we can protest all that. So we can stand against that, and you can, maybe not fill out any forms. So it is National Poetry Month, and we have some very special events, including that we are hosting the second selected fellow of the Linda J. Albertano Fellowship on April 12th. At 2 p.m., they'll be doing a special performance and reading with close friends of Beyond Baroque, including Susan Hayden and the first selected fellow, Abby Page. And we're also hosting the International Poetry Film Festival on April 18 and April 19. On April 18, we're opening with a discussion featuring contributors to Beyond Baroque Books' most recently published anthology, Poetry Ghosts to the Movies. It was edited by Suzanne Loomis. This will be a conversation all about the intersection between these two art forms, and it will feature a few of the contributors to the anthology, including emerging poets like Harrison Ham, as well as established poets like Elena Corina Byrne. And on Saturday, April 19, we're screening 46 films based on poetry. These films were submitted to the festival from all over the world, and we'll have a theater full of filmmakers, artists, and poets. And tickets are live on our website, so you can find more about all of that in our website. A big thank you to the Beyond Baroque team for making all events happen, for keeping the organization alive, includes our directors, Quentin Ring, Jimmy Vega, our bookstore team, and interns, Genesis Perez, Nick Foreman, Rhiannon Silas Chavez. Please give them a round of applause. And yeah, let's keep it all going. For our main program of the night, we are celebrating Sparring with Beatnik Artists, Volume 2. And, it's all thanks to Daniel Yarian. It's always a party. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed Social Hour. And sorry for the discrepancies, but, it's always great to have you all in the space. Hope you all checked out the nooks and crannies of all this, all the corners of this beautiful building. So, stick around for more. It's just getting started. So let's welcome our hosts for the evening. We have Richard Moliano and S.A. Griffin. Thank you all.
Well, I was going to introduce you, but you can get up here and talk too.
We'll talk simultaneously.
All right, we'll talk simultaneously.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right.
Well,
here
we are.
In the name of in nomine Sanitatis, this was my old intro. In nomine Sanitatis et Populus Quad Roma, in the name of the Senate and people of Rome, welcome to Beyond Baroque. That's the extent of my Latin, except for a few obscenities. And I want to thank, first of all, Daniel Yarian for inviting us to edit this second annual Sparring Artists. This was a true labor of love and a true collaboration between myself and S.A. We called upon everybody that we knew was still alive, and even those who had gone into the great beyond.
Like Diane DePrima.
And we commemorate those who have made significant contributions who are no longer with us, namely Neely Tchaikovsky and Andy Clausen, who were both terrific poets. Neely read here several times. Andy never made it to Beyond Baroque, unfortunately, as far as I know. He never did. But he is certainly. He started in Oakland. He ended up in Woodstock, New York. And incidentally, we're starting tonight with the first Sparring anthology reading, and the last one will be on May 5th at La Mama in New York City. So if you happen, so all our New York City contributors and environs will be there, and that is where Andy Clausen's work will be mostly commemorated. S.A., go ahead.
Okay, go sit down.
All right, thank you.
So I can introduce you. Now, the simultaneous part is over for now. Again, Daniel, thank you very much, because Daniel works his ass off in this stuff, and he doesn't really make anything at all. So none of us really make anything. Well, we literally don't make anything. Well, none of us. Who the hell makes money on poetry? Rod McEwen did. So, and anyway, I also wanted to recognize Mike Street, who's the featured artist, did this fucking fantastic cover. Mike, where are you? Come on up, man. Here, come on back up, Richard, so we can all hug Mike together. You want to say a few things, brother?
What can I say?
Well, say it into the mic.
I was honored to be invited to be the cover artist and feature artist or whatever it is. I'll tell you the story of Night Train to Lourdes. Anyway, that's the cover piece. I came up with the concept in 1974 on a train to Barcelona from Paris, and I was rolling through this part of southern France, and it said Lourdes this way. And I was going, man, what the hell does that train look like? Because everyone's, looking for a cure. So there it is. And I didn't make that painting until I did a sketch in '74, but I didn't make the painting until about 10 years ago. So anyway, that's enough.
And that painting was exhibited here.
Yes, that painting was exhibited, and
Right here.
right here, right here. It was in the building, and it was sold. Not here, but elsewhere. And it lives with a neurosurgeon in Pasadena. And I don't believe it was burned. So, anyway, that's enough.
Mike Street. All right, go sit down. Just a little order of business here. One of my heroes is Walt Whitman because he was writing the same poem all of his life, and I kind of take that to heart. So on page 181 of your hymnal, my piece, it finally, this piece, I'm not going to read it. I just want to tell you, this is what we're doing to it. The last two little sections don't exist anymore. And if you want me to, I will do it myself to your book, or you can do it yourself. Because last night at a reading, it finally dawned on me why I was so uneasy with the ending, and that was it. It was too sentimental, and it didn't belong. So the first person I'm going to bring up, and again, thank you all for being here. I'm sorry there was confusion about the starting time, but here we are, and that's over. So let's have a good time, please. The first one I'm bringing up, Richard and I with Daniel, but Richard and I co-edited this, and we have a lot of fun doing it. It does end up being a lot of work, but it's good work. And we live in a time when good work is necessary, and the necessary work is good work, in the words of our late, great John Lewis. So anyway, so we're here to be in good trouble, and this is a sacred ground of good trouble right here where you're standing. And Richard is a maker of great trouble. He has been his whole life. He really is a wonderful person, and I always like to introduce him as the smartest guy in the room, which he probably is in any room he's in, and the former director of Beyond Baroque here. Please show your tremendous love for Richard Modiano.
All right, we have a list of people here who are readers. We are going to pick them arbitrarily, although there was some thought that went into it, so it's only seemingly arbitrary. And why not start with our publisher, Daniel Yarian. Come on up, Daniel.
Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Oh. All right, I'm out of here. That's it. That's all I have. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Put on your boxing gloves, get ready for the show. Put on your boxing gloves, get ready for the show. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. I have some glasses here somewhere. All right. Purple-eyed skylarks. Purple-eyed skylarks will carry the message. Suspended animation. Perception point. Captain Casti views past life offspring from his tombstone perch while contemplating alternate universe. With his new improved heroic persona, note to self considers Captain C. Looming thought balloon. Wheels turning. He tells himself quietly, there's a splotch spot, teetering on the mind's ledge. Unfinished biz from before, something desperately in need of severing. Despite time parading along without breaks. No cornucopia of hope here, just karmic static, holding psychic interference, not of the bright, fluffy variety. He braces for an inevitable letdown at first sight its descendants, running shenanigans, visible, pervasive, grotesque, loathsome humanoids. How did this happen? Twitch and crawl, scavenge from nightfall until dawn. They live under a stump that gave too much. Former tree named Shelvester speaks language of fairy tales. Those tales gone awry. Once upon a logical vernacular, a time when branch arms could reach forth and fend trolls off, keeping the likes of Malady and Rat Boy Roy from occupying his roots. Now the rat-faced trolls take up residency, give nothing, take all, siphon energy and dignity, suckling on sustenance, mining for minerals, watching this demonstration and wondering what went wrong. Who conjured this spell aimed at his genealogical lot? Pathetic, pathological demeanor. This stifles the cosmic journey of the seeker, Captain C, exploring discoveries, leading to answers, connecting realms, lifelines. Captain Casti waits patiently, for there are grooves from weary rebellion on his skin map, witnessing miles of troughs, reminiscent of trenches, remembering graves, akin to power grabs in the name of gain, paying no heed to the funeral slabs and collateral damage. He wants to set things straight. Envisioning feeler tips, transforming into twigs, growing into branches, attracting miniature nightbirds, clutching upon the bark, purple-eyed skylarks at the edge of night, brink of daylight. Beg you, nightbirds, carry a message to the Scorchling about this forsaken realm. May the great space deity hold his golden fiery belly and dream of a planet that never was nor will ever be, while breaking the spell. C beams back into his dimensional chariot to prepare his sacred tonic to barter with the Scorchling. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel Yarian. Next up, Sasha Brenner.
How's it going? I title this poem, Mothers of America. Mothers of America, let your children swim at the beach. Get them a blue 1953 Buick. It's true that Land's End is good for their lungs. But what about their face, which will grow in waves, improved by images through a stretched tide? And where your children will float warmly as breathe coolly they must. And they will not exhibit blackmail because they'll be on some drunken ferry you let them discover on their birthdays. Your children will find out where sweet-shelled coconuts come from. Also, benign pods of seals. Mothers of America, you will make your children feel free. They will all be truly enlightened instead of crawling blindly in their rooms while damning your authority, because you will not have done anything deprecating, yet except keeping them from swimming at the beach. Mothers of America, don't blame me if you do not take my advice, and the family crumbles, and familial love burns, and your children grow wild and restless in front of a clear beach, watching all those waves you refused allowance for them to gaze when they were young. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Michael C. Ford to come up because he has some of his students here. And who better to introduce them than their maestro? Michael C., please come up.
Oh, you guys look really great. You look like the cast of a noir television series called Crime Story. You were on an arc on that series, weren't you? Essay. Wow. Celebrity sighting at Beyond Baroque. Well, it's true. You just heard from one of my students. That was Sasha Brenner. And Sasha always brings a sense of literary awareness to all of his work. And a lot of people can learn a lot from listening to him. And so what I'd like to do is probably it'd be a good idea to recite a page from my book, which is published by Mystic Boxing Commission, as all of us here tonight have been published by Mystic Boxing. And so there are a lot of haikus in there. Would you like to hear a haiku? Want to hear a haiku from this book? Okay. Are you excited to hear a haiku? No, okay. Okay. Yeah. I knew you would be. This is someplace cowboy verse is out loud in Nevada. Oh, go east, young West. And that's it. And it's true, Richard said, each semester I have a brood of students in a writing program. I invited 3 of graduate students from Tree Academy. That's a prep school in the private sector. And they will be sharing their words with you tonight, as Shasha did in his introduction. He was at the top of the batting order, and what I'm going to do now, the next appearance at the podium will be Adelaide Jeannot. Her writing celebrates a French tradition, and her book is called Trails to the Canyon Floor, and also published by Mystic Boxing Commission. So let's say hello to Grace.
Hello. I'm Adelaide. And I'm a poet. This piece I have today is called Carving Project. In the boredom crack of dawn, submerged in such a ravine, field dressing on the hay finds the means with which to be seen. Bleeding to each other in the eyes of those foregone, from the splendid eyes of plenty, beady eyes of a fawn. Blowing till the broadside, amidst a sea of evergreens, button buck is busted by cross-stitched twine seams. Quartering the excess, entrails ebbing between the grass, quickly paced and softly spoken, a horrid whistle of solid brass. In the golden lands, a buster broken, till the beats of blood suffice, in the sun-kissed lands of honor, and in the holes occupied by mice. Thank you.
So next up to the podium, my next guest is Louis Hillcoat, and he brings a sense of musicology into the classroom. And by that I mean you get a sense of rhythmic pattern and melodic lines coming out of the real language. So give it up for Louis.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Louis. How is everyone tonight? Yeah, happy Friday. So I go by Sleepy Louie. Gonna do a piece called Never Die. It's the first track actually. It's normally, got a backing track, doing an a cappella right now. But usually has hella distorted bass, guitar, drums, all the rest, synths, all that musical stuff, dissonance, all this crazy stuff. Anyway, CDs are for sale in the bookstore, so if you want to get one on the way out or something, you can. So I'm just going to go into it. All right, Never Die. Here we go. Never die, never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Never die, never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Never die, never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Alright, first one, here we go. Hello world, came out the zoo. Me once was the boy who played the kazoo. This is Sparta, ready to rumble. Straight out the jungle. Me, Curious George, WWE SmackDown. Mine for the takeover now. Me, a warrior, come out to play. Hear them say... Never talk to no strangers, me elevating, levitating, Doctor Strange, me still as a crane, insane in the membrane, Cypress Hill, chill Bill, kill Bill, take this in my grave, it's in my will, coming out the chamber, let's go, hey. Never die, what? Modify, quantify, terminator, never die, modify, quantify, terminator, never die, modify, quantify, terminator, never die, modify, quantify, terminator, verse 2. Me in the terrain with my Crocs. Beatbox, school sucks, but Jack Black, School of Rock doesn't. Me on that West Side Story, 10 pen game, awesome. Nocturnal as a possum in the downrooms, not no bottom feeder. Me plankton, just got the Krabby Patty formula. Me having nightmares, night terrors, rest craving, yeah. Go to sleep, waking up, counting sheep. What? Go to sleep, waking up, counting sheep. One more time, go to sleep, waking up, counting sheep in my sleep. Yeah, it's in my will. It's in my will, what? It's in my will, let's go, ayy. It's in my will, ayy. One more time, let's go, never die. Modify what? Quantify, terminator, ayy. Never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Never die. Modify, quantify, terminator. Thank you. CDs in the bookshop at the front. Also have a Sharpie too, so you can sign it.
Hey, Louis.
If you want.
Yeah. Like I say, these three voices that you heard have been published in these 2 volumes of Tree Academy anthology, poetry and prose, published by Mystic Boxing Commission. It's like, how many publishers actually do that? Have the publishing generosity to publish student writers. New York publishing graveyards will not touch that because they don't jangle the cash register. So we really owe Daniel Yarian a real strong recognition for doing that. Bravo, Daniel, you did it. So I'm going to briefly conclude with one more from my coffee table book. The only thing about a coffee table book is you not only have to buy the coffee table book, you have to buy a coffee table to go with it. And that makes it unaffordable, doesn't it? Sort of. So there was one section in my book which is re-examining the 7 sacraments. And so I'll wrap it up for us here tonight, for me, and read this piece, which is Extreme Unction, one of the last of the 7 sacraments. And it's dedicated to the memory of John Thomas, one of the legendary ghosts of the Beat Generation history, right here in Venice West. So this is called Extreme Unction, after John Thomas. And I thank you all for your kind attention and for welcoming me, my students, for showing up tonight. And it goes like this. One day, a life-endangering illness canceled me out, and I straightaway go to heaven. Here I am in this enormous reception room, surrounded by hundreds of new arrivals and bottomless cups of hot cocoa. No coffee allowed. The bosses in paradise considered caffeine to be unhealthy. Momentarily, feeling a tug on my sleeve, I turned to a man with a scruffy beard and long hair, wearing a flowing red robe, undoubtedly Jesus, who was saying, "Hey, you're the one who put me in that poem about Britney Spears." I mean, imagine how thrilled, how flattered I was. My name in the same poem with Britney Spears. I mean, it just killed me. I gazed into his Semitic black olive eyes, which were full of forgiveness, and now willing to accept any smattering of redemption, I replied, yes, composing poems like that eventually killed me too. And now I'm going to turn you over.
Thank you, Michael C., and excellent work by your students. Next up, Kathleen Florence.
Thank you. I'm so pleased to be part of this anthology masterpiece of art. And my piece is in here, but I'm not going to read that. You have to buy the book to read Think, Skin, Bias. Instead, I'm going to share a piece called America, I Won't Give Up on You. Because I have a type, because I read your stories, swallowed your songs since childhood from an older cousin who hummed Hello, I Love You by the Doors, Modern Love by Bowie, I Think I Love You by the Partridge Family, which sounds like the Patriarch Family, which sounds like the Patriotic Family, which sounds like America in the final inning swinging that bat. You are a bad boy driving all night on the run from someone, probably yourself. I thought you were changing America, giving up your reckless ways, but you keep promising change while holding on to old habits. Too in love with yourself or addicted to what corporations sold us when we were young. Because I have a type, I'm into the scar over your left eye, America. Sign of a dagger on your neck you say is a birthmark. That's sexy. The way a pool hall posing as a book club, shaking down fascist ideas is sexy. Or a furniture store offering mid-afternoon naps is sexy. America, you once had a popular profile on social media, but then got found out on a second date. The way you reacted to a speeding ticket, or when a server brought the wrong order. America makes a strong first impression. Chiseled features, witty banter, a penchant for debate. And who doesn't want to cruise through its towns with photo-worthy statues studied in art history, managed by smiles made whiter by bleach, appearing slightly better looking to get more votes? It's a two-party system blaring outdated music over loudspeakers that will become landfill. Ain't that America? But hear me out. I used to love you, and still do. I love your movies, your three-chord hits, your denim jean history, and Gibson guitars. I love your painted toenails, man buns, and rainbow parades. I love your vast and ever-changing terrain, driving from one side to another. I love the car you made to drive in, blasting 80 years of rock and roll on the ride west. I know there are other places far less obvious about their dysfunctions. I do not need. Everyone needs to be in the spotlight all the time like you do, America. You are the troublemaker during holidays, the loudmouth at family gatherings, and when the unhappiest of your cousins gets a shotgun and mixes it with a bad idea like nobody loves me, like something is wrong here, like school is the problem, like an airplane through a tower. That's when I want to fix you, America. Like a Coldplay song. Lately, America, you are more America Psycho than American the Beautiful. I want to see you take off that suit and meet me at the non-denominational place of prayer and peace. I want to see you find that surplus of money and give it away to the poorest among us. I want to see all your favorite colors come together in a round of Kumbaya meets Thunderstruck. America, I am asking you to be the bad boy I can trust as you excommunicate the language of bro, any need for dominance, keeping your muscles flexed and your gender open. Because I've got a blank space, baby. Be it Beyonce or Swift, no one can hold a candle to your torch. Just keep it lit if you get my drift. Oh, America, I want it all just like you. I want you all to myself too, except when we hang on the weekends with my friends. People rave about your cities and countryside, and you've got a honey sweet B-side. You've got strings of lights from east to west, dance halls and jazz. You've got miles and miles of yellow brick highways. You've got baseball and Berman, Broadway and Bukowski, revolution and suffrage, suffering to overcome. I'm surely leaving something and someone out, but that's you too, America, with your history amnesia, fleeting cultural touchstones like the height of today's socks or yesterday's Hate Street rock. America with your golden arches and just do it sleigh, restitution that's coming one day. There's also so much more to say to you. Just know that I won't give up on you, America, in this madding world we call home.
Thank you, Kathleen. Next up, an authentic hygiene. For those who do not speak Japanese, a hygiene is a person of haiku. Please welcome Land.
Peace, peace. Yo, nah, shout out to everybody who's read already, everybody who's gonna read later. There's a lot of talent in the room, a lot of creativity. It's inspiring. So, this is my piece from Sparring with Artists. It's called 40 Days and 40 Nights. It's a series of 40 haikus. I'm just gonna read an excerpt from it. But, yeah. Delicate moments awaiting reality, nestled in dreamscapes. Mise en scene, sunrise, with lights peeking through the clouds, eroding the night. A silent slumber, and footsteps on a tiled floor. Sleep and sleeplessness. Through windows, I watch the sunrise erase the night from a quiet room. A sunbeam collage cascading through the window on an empty wall. Rampant streams of thought become silenced by stillness sitting on the floor. The motion of breath, meditations on unknowns. What's mine is not mine. Show the subconscious. Performative personhood exalts a cliche. Subvert the zeitgeist. Talk to yourself more often. Why not go crazy? Vignette vagabonds post hieroglyphs in my eyes, curating memoirs on timeline collage, manicuring personas for the sake of self, ego evangelists and inundation addicts, digital dogma, encoded cocaine, hyperlink hysteria, keyboard clicks and clacks, self-help fetishists with propaganda pseudo-cult leaders, continuing counting followers, satellite suicide pacts, vanity victims. We survived the truth. Or are we casualties? Who wields the data? Amidst the havoc, we constructed citadels from sanctuaries. Amidst the chaos, We watched symposiums burn and drank cyanide, drunk on credit cards, confused consumerists asked, is safety for sale? Track home tragedies and drywall delirium. What are we building? Age of apathy, passive pandemonium, consumption culture, calendar coffins, carcinogen compromise, Faustian bargains, repetitious veil, days gradually blurring, the sun sets again. Still counting the days, my body grows more weary as time marches on. Thank you.
Thank you, Land. I mean, his piece in the book is unbelievable. When I showed it to Richard, it was immediate. We both agree. He's the real deal, man. Thank you, Land. The next person I want to bring up, yes, is my friend and partner in mail art crime. She's a very fine human being, and she's a really great artist as well, and a great writer. Show your love for Bibiana Padilla Maltos.
Thank you, everyone. Well, boy, it's falling. It's alive. Yeah, it's like it was falling, but okay. I am gonna read the piece that I sent. It's untitled for Steph. No half measures. We take the streets, and from the street we jump to the voids. From the reality to the imagined realities, to the others and those of others. Carefree, they get closer, they pass us, they follow us, they mirror desires and murmuring eyes. Legs get away, escaping rapidly, the compromised revelation. Incandescent bodies turn, intending to reflect minusculely such discharge. We like challenges to create our own truths. Thank you.
There is a metaphysician in the room, and his name is Nelson Gary.
So I want to say a few things. I do have a piece in here, but it's prose fiction. Daniel Yarian of Mystic Boxing Commission is publishing this book. It's not out yet. It says Nelson Gary wrote it. I transcribed it. I manually wrote it. The book is written in the form of poetry, but it was actually written by Sophia, Lady Wisdom, the Holy Spirit. I just rolled with it. I just opened myself up and let it come through me. Sometimes it's about me, sometimes it's not. Am I insane? Absolutely. The question is, though, when you look at this book and the length of it, and it's in poetry form, I found the perfect publisher. He's almost as insane as I am. And I mean that in the best way. Thank you very much for this event. Everybody I've heard tonight has just been wonderful. I've really liked it. This is a piece called Wind Chimes. Understanding is all wisdom wants. It is the universe that she haunts. Again, I felt the triggers just beginning before the dawning of time. The meaning of twilight nursed all the way to the back of a hearse, speeding into snow cracked, not on these streets, beneath them. Pleased with Helen, wisdom, her lips slick for my grief coming in tears. The wavering verb tenses of the lines define more than memories, loss of ego through Alzheimer's stories lived by others, including mother. Prior to time, I was a wind chime blown higher and harder by spirit than I am now here. One of the divine beings with right fear of God, making music that sent chills down the spines of gods with wills that grew ill in ways I can scarcely define. What is this verse aleatory in content and form, rhythm? What does it do here with my tongue now? What? I should shush it, hush it. Whose bush is it? I am uncertain about most everything, other than interdimensional flings with the temporal material world. At the wind chime factory, curled gates open as a smile. Then there's this kiss that reminds me warfare spiritual can gather from the prince of the power of the air into a fenced, machined breeze that lifts the cloud of Marilyn Monroe's dress as shroud upward, revealing a vortex of symbols, muscles with the hairy purring of gambles, hotels, funeral molestation, Orphic Lou Reed's metal machine music, travel with Christ, the harrowing of hell. With or without marigold people, should I now abort the battles born in pre-time's lonely twilight court? On another but related front, when will I learn to surrender and accept the skills of uncertainty and our children in stealing the world from Satan? I remember many friends lost to Satan's deceptions. These stairs are not for me to climb, but descend with the paranoia and pension. Makeshift metamorphoses of the moment sacrificed identities to the scales of the dragon, the wings theatrical, the scent of numbness diabolical in the bareness of grit and grime, risen to make reason of these downtown streets. The deliverance from the devil of entertainment is angelic audaciousness. The mind marvels at the reconfigured sepulchral spectacle of eternal recurrence, heroic and tragicomic stance. Me, nude beggar, with skull open, bull in dance. A mythic anomaly symbolizes most invocations, even this invitation to dance to a radio station. Was your life saved by rock and roll? Mine was saved by God beyond the grave, loving me depraved. As far as with others, I've been behaved. I am a Corinthian bell wind chime, sounding love in these rhymes for better times. The dragon froths images of the lamb, the nonstop deceiving of giving and receiving bleeding, the beat of the heart, the horrifying throb. The daub of war paint does know the blank expression but for eyes aglow. Risen to these flames, the petals of a rose unfolding as beauty's scarlet fingertips from the pages of Gilgamesh, scarlet harlot, sacred harlot. Upon stripped down naked reality, your grip is weak, motherfucking mad dog freak. Guts, enmeshed with familiar last day of October, the transmigrating unarmed stranger enters the beach, stones broken into sand, the splinters of a toothpick in his mouth. Under the pier, nothing is dear save the fluid rhythm of protean poetry that cuts through the dirty moment to expose the cleanness of dream. The old plots hatched, the radiation of diamonds on hems of swaying bridesmaids' dresses in the surf with a sun blast Egyptian eye and beams. These rose lines of ash that in reverie did glow as seats for cash. It's merely me, God of this world, old scratch. My father says I need to place literature behind me, return to being a counselor. Poetry without psychology is too dangerous. Without poetry, psychiatry has much less purpose. Thank you.
Well, when I was director of Beyond Baroque, I introduced this next reader at her first reading here, and now it's my pleasure to introduce her at her latest reading. Jean Marie Spicuzza.
Honestly didn't know he was talking about me. That's so cool. It's another one of my hairs. They're everywhere. I caught some kind of weird virus. It wasn't COVID. My hair's falling out, and I'm here because I don't care anymore enough about my hair to deprive me of being with you people. Thank you. Thank you for that, too. For those of you who are familiar with Tantrism, you know it actually has to do with sex where you don't even have sex. I came from a monastery chanting with monks and went down to visit my friend Greg in Santa Ana. And I wrote this about us, or so I thought about us. I think it might have been some of my reflection bouncing off of him. This is from the book that Daniel put together, the book that Essay and Richard lovingly edited and helped form it. I'm honored to be in this book. I've been a poet for as long as I can remember, and I, too, am insane and very proud of it. Thank you. This poem is called Birthing. Your empathy is a sky full of rain. If your tears were rivers, I would swim in them. Your speech warms my heart and dissolves my pain. A soft clover folded over, a seed where we meet. Facing a decision at the edge of space before morning, a bird landed in the palm of my hand, boldly expressing your steady arrival. At daybreak and dawn, I squint through trees to see you. There is so much light beneath your feet. I cannot stop writing. The world is turning. One moment into another, I stay watching without rest. Your face is the sun that clocks the hours. My emotions grow above exquisite. Vast shadows dance and fade into a sea beyond sadness. What was asleep has been awakened. I trace the golden mean with my middle finger. There is honey in my mouth. Sweetness overcomes my tongue. Your skin is a mist, an insoluble mystery. I feel my way grateful through the earth and clay. Sensing that after the storm passes, stories of passion and play may transform into understanding, an albeit naive layer of meaning. Love, like beauty, cannot be explained. What was once admired, wisdom cherishes. It is this majesty that has become the gown I wear to protect its glory. I want to share with you what is not mine, to hold briefly your visceral nobility. If I kiss you once, it will determine my purpose. I will steer in the direction of the western wind. Living isn't breathing, but seeing and exceeding. If we keep reaching, the infinite breeze will lift us. I fear not the darkness, only the absence of everything. I have been alone, at times lonely, but your angled limbs are an isosceles. My senses find feast. I spread my head and hair across your kingdom of instinct. I will bring you to the moon while you shoulder the stars. The sand and agony melt between our toes. Dreams come into being with the magic of subtle, delicate grandeur. I find you standing before the mirror of eternity, reflecting my hopes, holding them as your own. You guard our alliance with a sword of fire, drawn from water and sounds of ocean. These tender dedications guide our way. I pray with hands open against your torso. I cannot comprehend our direction. Your smile guides my uncertainty. Such a wonder you are in front of impossibility. Gratitude surrounds me like a glove. What is truly creative is never lost. You have saved me without sweat or labor. Your honesty has brought this treasure. I recognize you, your crown, and throne of gold, transfigured with serenity, fused by hopeful inclusion. There is a future to anticipate where we are situated now. The holy and the sacred pour out from your patient, waiting spirit. Your flowers have fed me. I am nourished deeply. I will call out to you as long as gravity allows and watch us soar upward as time tumbles down. Your colors pull back the curtain, draping the window, which is me. You have unleashed my poetry and given birth to artistry. Thank you.
From the east, not the far east, not the east coast of the United States, but east of here from Hollywood, Cannon B. Rains.
I am going to go all the way back to the 80s to an old piece, but somehow it still seems relevant. I hope you find it so. You may have heard it before. If so, it's been a long time, so I hope you won't mind hearing it again. Memorials and morning glories. Gonna tell you a story. I was listening to my radio and the DJ was rapping, you know. He was rapping about Memorial Day, but it struck me odd the next thing he played. The DJ says, even if you're not at the parades, as you lie on the beach or grill your barbecue, as you wash your car or do what you do, take some time on Memorial Day. Think of the brave souls and the price they paid. The DJ says the price they paid so you and I could feel freedom ring. The DJ plays and the Pet Shop Boys sing, let's make money, America, let's make lots of money, ah ha ha ha. You know, big businesses bought the newsman to tell you make money, don't give a damn. Let's kick some butt and take a stand. Rape everything, including the land. We don't care if we're stepping on toes. Money's our friend, other people our foes. We get sucked into the material game. We let violence and poverty reign. We just want to gobble up more. We sell our soul to the company store. Rock and roll is no longer a threat. Big business has tamed it. It's a harmless pet. The youth once questioned the establishment. Now they dive into the money pit. Trust in God, but give me $1. Gotta get rich quick or I'm gonna holler. We're addicted to money and driven to consume. Corporate government seduces our doom, but we're so distracted we just can't understand the time's running out for us in the land. And it won't last any longer for the rich and famous. There'll be nobody left but the angels who blame us. It seems like such a very sad shame. Our leaders sell us out for their private gain. You know that things aren't ever the same when you sell your soul for fortune and fame. How quickly fades our moment of glory. The universe yawns at the end of our story, and material souls wander aimlessly, lost and drowning in infinity. Yet they could have swam the endless sea, 'cause change is up to you and me. Sorry, 'cause change is up to you and me. We're addicted to money and driven to consume. Corporate government seduces our doom, but we're so distracted we just can't understand that time's running out for us in the land. And it won't last any longer for the rich and famous. There'll be nobody left but the angels who blame us. It seems like such a very sad shame. Our leaders sell us out for their private gain. You know that things aren't ever the same when you sell your soul for fortune and fame. Trust in God, but give me $1. Gotta get rich quick or I'm gonna holler. We're addicted to money and driven to consume. Corporate government seduces our doom, but we're so distracted we just can't understand the time's running out for us in the land. And it won't last any longer for the rich and famous. There'll be nobody left but the angels who blame us. It seems like such a very sad shame. Our leaders sell us out for their private gain. You know that things aren't ever the same when you sell your soul for fortune and fame. You dress so fancy and act so funny, putting on airs and clinging to your money, but you might find you get more respect saving the world, 'cause it's possible yet. Gotta raise your consciousness, that's the first step. Saving the world, yeah, it's possible yet. Gotta raise your consciousness, that's the first step, 'cause what we believe in our hearts we create. When it all blows up, we can't blame fate. Don't get hung up on predestination. You and I hold the fate of the nation. This don't have to be the end of the story. Shine your love, say good morning, glory. Greet the glory, greet the glory. It's been waiting on us since the gospel story. And on Memorial Day, as you think of sacrifice, don't forget the Prince of Peace and Light. Shine your love, 'cause we write the story. We are the seeds of tomorrow's glory. I said, shine your love. I said, shine your love. I said, shine your love. Say shine. Shine. Everybody say shine. Everybody say shine. It seems like such a very sad shame our leaders sell us out for the private gain. You know that things aren't ever the same when you sell your soul for fortune and fame. You better shine your love. You better shine your love. You better shine your love. Say shine.
Next up, a very fine poet, somebody that I've known when I was on my way out of Beyond Brook. I first met him. Please welcome Jimmy Vega.
We'll bring up Jimmy next. Tell him he's next. So one of the reasons I like to do shit this way is people pay attention. So the next person we're bringing up is the beautiful, the lovely, the most wonderful Lynn Bronstein.
Well, thank you. I'm proud to be in this book that is so beautifully put together with the artwork and poetry combined. It's really very good. and this is called The Gilded Gown and the Lombard Scar. The strapless gown didn't just unzip. I'm not very good with zippers, she said. It had a corset inside. It would have taken many fingers unlocking little snaps that cinch the natural curves into a willy wave. The men wanted to unzip her, unsnap her, and uncorset her. And so did she, for different reasons. Rita and Gilda wanted to be free to breathe, free to speak her mind, and free to be naked, refreshingly real. Rita had black hair, dark eyes, olive skin. The movies dyed her hair vivid red, blitzed her forehead hairline, powdered and painted her face, and starved the flesh off her. I'm decent, said Gilda with a toss of flaming hair over bare shoulders. A decent box office return, love goddess, sex symbol, a face affixed to a test bomb. A slithering body down on her knees, crying, a shivering dancer, a bondwoman to the studio sharks. She said her trouble was that her men went to bed with Gilda and woke up with Rita. Not Hayworth, but Rita Cancino, teenage Spanish dancer adrift among horn dogs. Years later, on the set of one of her last movies, she told a younger star, I used to be beautiful like you. A genius at lighting was a guide and personal savior for Carol Lombard, so that no one would see that scar on her left cheek, made by a sliver of windshield glass, remnant of a night out partying. She endured stitches, drank her meals through a straw, only to end up with a grim reminder. Still, she sought a career. She mugged in Senate slapstick, dodging the cream pies, switched to tight gowns and screwball comedy, and found the cameraman whose lights restored the pure face she'd had at 17. Makeup and that big dimple when she smiled helped too. But it's there, the Lombard scar, and she couldn't say she got it from a duel. She arrived at a party in an ambulance made up as a victim of an accident, like the one that made her scar. She talked with the grips and the gaffers on the set, not with the gossip queens. She ignored a psychic who told her not to get on that plane, and they found some strands of her light blonde hair and a script she was reading for her next film role. No one found the plan in her head to be a director of films that would be burned up along with the scar, the symbol of her survival. Millions try using every product and every technique to emulate the perfection seen on the screen. Two women who are part of the legacy now, without their corsets and makeup, are real and raw and probably more like you and me. When we bathe in our fantasies, living the lives of old Hollywood, do we dare to be Rita without the gilded gown or Carol without her scar? Thank you.
Jimmy, are you in the house? Okay, please welcome Beyond Baroque's Jimmy Vega.
Thank you, Richard, Essay, Daniel. This is the piece that's in the book. It's called Voicemail I Ching. I leave the I Ching in the car. You ask, and I listen. Some loves are ghosts. You ask, and I carry 3 coins. Who do you wish you could call? A voicemail is a letter in voice. War is never over. In my pocket, divinity. I reach for the I Ching and I ask. I leave the I Ching closed, overflowing my mind. Some transmissions are more sacred, yellow flower, gaped mouth. There is divinity in spit. An angel on the exit of the 90s sits, soaked sun, closed eyes, gazing at me. An insect leaves this realm and I hear a popping sound, quiet whisper, glorious and hitherto reverberating, divinity in sacrifice. Ephemeral clashing bird song, serene and ubiquitous. Tell me about God, 'cause I've almost forgotten, as you milk sunrise into oblivion. Feed every hungry atom of my body, weigh a sleepy kiss, murmurs forget-me-nots, and I listen. I dream the I Ching on my freeway bed, past the overpass, past my tortured darlings. You ask, and I listen. Some loves are sentences that keep repeating, a comma splice hidden as run-on. Cultivate technologies. En ofrenda is archive, is praxis, a folded ladder inside a gallery in shadow. A voicemail is letter, is voice. I'd give a lot of everything to sit in your suffering, in your thirst. A voicemail is a letter, often unopened, archival transubstantiation breath, melting inside your fade into you cosmic daydreaming, like the eudaimonia found intensely in staring into sunset mirrored ocean through a lens of glass polymer. My own deja vu revisiting me. My own deja vu revisiting me. My own deja vu revisiting me. You ask, and I listen.
Thank you, Jimmy. Next up, a weaver of heaven and earth magic, a moon maiden, and a warrior, K.R. Morrison.
I want to thank Daniel for this beautiful book and for making beautiful books, and for Richard and Essay for always making sure I have access to submitting, because this is really special. Just beautiful stuff. I'm going to read War Woman that's in here, and then I'll close with a very short one called Poet Prayer. War Woman. A king-size bed soaked in rape impales a daughter, a granddaughter, a mother. Ancestress hair snarled into knots, she tosses, tangles in red sheets of unrest. Lost in a maze of man moods, man laws, she survives by losing herself. She retreats into sleep, unpacks herself. Inheritance. From her wrists, kerosene drips, 2 swollen rainstorms behind razor blade eyelids. Down irises she tumbles into women's storms, where grandmothers toss, turn, where first women bury grenades beneath oak trees. Maybe assaults can become something else. Down shadow portals, war daughter discovers mother. Same age, back scattering, mother drinks away his stomach aches. Under sun, she paints men away, carves wood into plaques for outlaw men who follow law by virtue of his wars, his beatings, his rapings. Mother poet. She says, out of all the mothers, daughters, grandmothers active in unrest, warriors born in winter are the babies who burn themselves away in the protection fire she procreates, death alive in the havoc of her fight back. In southern elements, such war women resurrect. I am war daughter. Granddaughter born breach from soul mother sirening the hymn collective away into death. I find these women within my knots, daughters, mothers, granddaughters on fire, tied to his hawthorn crosses, tied to his king-size bed, soaked in rape. Legs spread for his wounds, his riddles, his death. In my wildest dreams, war woman hijacks his flames, sinks his ships, finds peace in her furious blaze. Okay. A little lighter. Kinda. It's called Poet Prayer, and it's for everybody here and in this book, especially these days. Poet Prayer. Where the words climb inside the consonants like a child between parents. When those who ghost evoke night terrors light a match. Call on fire to release their silence, and for all those word abusers, hide clown traps. On a new moon, plant your wounded catch beneath sapphire fields of wildflowers. Beneath what's green, set them free. Invoke water gods to wash their dirty lips, cleanse damage from toxic tongues who infect words so they infect us. To love illiterates, stop writing. Thank you.
K.R. Morrison. Well, one of the things I want to share with you guys, his 100th birthday is coming up, and we have a poem by Bob Kaufman in here. And I'm fortunate enough to be going up to San Francisco in a couple of weeks to be a part of the celebration up there for his 100th birthday. And Richard's going to be rolling up there with me. Hopefully we're going to see KR up there too. But we have a real centerfold in this book for those who haven't seen it yet. As naked as you get, because it's the poet himself. And this is fucking awesome. Kristen Witterhahn did this art piece for this man. This is Bob Kaufman. He is truly one of the greatest poets of the 20th century, and certainly one of the greatest poets of the what would be called the Beat generation of the Beat movement. Really, it's a beautiful piece. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. So maybe get you to buy the book if you haven't bought it yet. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get enough credit, not at all. So the next person I want to bring up, sometimes people think I'm Mr. Los Angeles. I'm really from California. I'm Mr. California. I grew up in the East Bay. I started at the top, worked my way all the bottom, which is here. The real Mr. Los Angeles is coming up. Mike Songskin.
Kenan, I liked hearing that piece. My daughter's with me. My daughter Ekka's with me. She's in the 10th grade. Give it up for Ekka real quick. But your poem was echoing a conversation that Ekka and I have been having, and she's already getting very politically conscious, and we've been talking about a lot of these issues. And you said your piece had been from before, but it could have been written yesterday. You know, man. All right, hey, great to see everybody, man.
Good to see you.
Man.
How about that mic?
I have two pieces in here. One is Yaryan and one is for David Meltzer. So here's a quick one about Yaryan. You arrange readings yelling illusions nightly. Young assassins remember Yaryan alleviates negativity. Yearly analysis renders Yaryan's answers noteworthy. Yo! Abolish Republican Yankees aiding narcissists. Yes, accelerating reports yield ancestries nearby. Years after rocketing, Yaryan approaches Nebula. And this one is for David Meltzer, one of my very favorite beat poets. Yeah. And David Meltzer, much like Bob Kaufman, could get a lot more attention. David Meltzer was an amazing dude. David Meltzer, Melt the Developer, mystical elements elevate your poetry, enlightened folk energy, doing expansive leaps, line after line, your copy, on time, punchlines, Brooklyn to California, dreaming, scheming, lamentations for Hank Williams. Wielded Genesis, spiritualism, processing jazz and politics as fragments and segmented data clusters, poems coming from everywhere. You were there with Wallace Berman. Blowing bop, Kabbalah, acoustic, Gothic, 3-2-1 contact. You drew the map between the Cold War and pagan lore. One of your poems said a bank teller told you Meltzer meant waiter in Hebrew. I wrote this poem to tell you I'm sorry for letting you down in 2011 when we scheduled you to read at the last bookstore. I didn't promote it right and forgot to make sure the date was printed in the calendar. When you arrived the next day, there was almost nobody there. I apologize, David, for dropping the ball. I was younger then. Much less responsible. Nonetheless, in the coming years, you still answered my emails, sending thoughtful quotes and for an essay I wrote about city lights. 60th anniversary, your pocket poems collection, When I Was a Poet, was a masterpiece. You mastered the beat thing. Like Lester Young, you could really swing something ferocious. I will always love you, David Meltzer.
Mike the Poet. And we're coming home, kids. We're coming home. We're coming home. We're going to cross the finish line full speed ahead. What was I going to say? I know what I was going to say. There's a couple of books probably in the bookstore. Speaking of David Meltzer, Rock Dow is a masterpiece. Yes, and he's got a poem. Yes, he's got a poem in the anthology. But Rock Dow is a masterpiece, and probably the Bob Kaufman Collected is also in there. I highly recommend both of those books. Now, we have surprise guests, and this person doesn't know I'm going to call, but that's okay. Again, I like to keep people on their toes because most poetry readings, people go, eh. But if you keep people guessing, they pay attention. Linda Ravenswood, you want to come up here and read your piece? Oh, well, Linda, you were great. Linda was fascinating, wasn't she? Yeah. So these next two guys, because this is all we got left, both of these guys are great, and it's really a flip of the coin who's going to bring us home. But I think this is going to go this way. The next person, and please, everybody sign my book for me, please. You know, I really want you to sign my book. It's like, you know, anyway. This guy, I can't believe we hadn't crossed paths earlier in life. I met him really through Daniel and the last Sparring, I think, anthology a couple years ago. And I saw his name and I said, check this cat out. But this guy is amazing, and we've really become fast friends. He really is. He can do it all. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Dig Wayne.
so much. Thank you, S.A. Thank you, Richard. Where you been all my life, huh? So I'm gonna put that there, make me feel more at home. I might need a bite later. I'm gonna read a poem from the book. I'm not gonna bring the whole book. I'm not gonna carry around 50 poets just to read one poem. So I thought I'd read this, but I'm just so honored to be in this book and the last one, so I really appreciate this. It's a beautiful layout, Daniel. It's just wonderful. This poem is Marlon Brando. Yo. This poem doesn't care whether you like it or not. This poem is interested in everything, the engineering marvel of anthills, pyramids, beehives, spider webs, women's undergarments, zip lines, the politics of word foolery, the politics of mind foolery, the politics of genocide, the politics of ignorance and its flag of dull eyes, the politics of lobotomies in 1950s America, the politics of Mulholland, the supposed honor of the poet, the truth seeker, the visionary, the life inhaler. I say, bring the poet's tragic flaw, the missed improvisation, the sour note that makes you pay attention. The roses are red madman blowing you kisses with his butt hanging out. The violets are blue homeless woman screaming in pig Latin in front of the 7-Eleven after 11. Let's make her the poet laureate of every 7-Eleven in Southern California. Exploit her madness and call it art. Too bad she's a white girl under that dirty face. This poem is Marlon Brando. It doesn't care whether you like it or not. This poem will be interrupted at any moment by the management. It will bite the hand that feeds it repeatedly. This poem is praying for mistakes. This poem will test positive for COVID. This poem has a bad attitude. This poem is not a democracy. This poem is a panoramic dumpster fire. This poem will not come in out of the rain. This poem will not take responsibility for itself. I say, let's hear the executioner's poetry as he smiles under his hood and sharpens his axe to grind. Celebrate the pickpocket poet, the plagiarist poet, the decapitated poet, the illiterate poet. They will see beyond the cliche beat down moon and stars. Hear the knell of academic sputtlery, chasing its tail for answers to everything. Excavate the wormy poetry under your crusty socks, eating the eyes out of your slave-owning ancestors. The grisly poetry, whipping 4 horses in a to-the-death chariot race, hoping to drag some Hollywood barbarian to his glorious end. Read his verses as he disintegrates into a red mist. This poem is interested in everything. Denny's kids menu, the unseemingly disappearance of McRib, smog checks, identity theft, walks on the beach. This poem is Marlon Brando. This poem doesn't care whether you like it or not. This poem is Betty Page with a hard-on. This poem is a West Virginia coal mine in 1972. This poem will be burned as contraband. This poem is old dog teeth. This poem is rabbit ears. This poem is glorious black and white. This poem is a genius. This poem will chew with its mouth open and its elbows on the table. Bring the poet's tragic flaw, memorize the primal need, rebel against yourself, Johnny, read the back of empty cereal boxes, journey to Battle Creek, Michigan, where all life began with the philosophy and cruelty of nutritional facts. This poem is for sale to the highest bidder. This poem is worth $1.5 million a day. This poem will refuse any accolades. This poem is looking for Sasheen Littlefeather. This poem will not make you an offer. This poem's potential is not up for discussion. This poem will not be recycled. This poem will self-destruct. What do you want this poem to do? Buy you flowers? Tango with a knife in your back. This poem is not here to impress you, to help you discover your true self, to straighten you out. This poem is downtown Palookaville. This poem is spit in the ocean. This poem is interested in everything. Mixed race conquistadors, Dad Longworth's whereabouts, cowboys on the beach, two-eyed jacks, the divorce papers being finalized. This poem will fight injustice. This poem will let's screw our tragic flaws and dreams of perfection to broken records and sail them into oblivion. This poem is a Cadillac up on blocks. This poem is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This poem is as American as the electric chair. This poem has been rejected by better people than you. This poem has spinach in its teeth. This poem has no willpower. This poem has no discipline. This poem is grape Kool-Aid. This poem will eventually weigh 350 pounds. This poem is vanilla ice cream with hot fudge. This poem is Marlon Brando. Thank you. Dig way. Dig, dig, dig. Dig that dig, yeah. And before I bring the last person up again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all the contributors, signed my book. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, everybody, Quentin, Brian Baroque, Genesis, everybody here. Thank you all. Please get into some fucking good trouble. Please get into some good trouble. Please. Beyond tomorrow. Beyond tomorrow. There is no future. There is only now. Don't play in the past. Don't play in the future. Don't play games like othering somebody. We all belong here together. We are the others. We are all the others. Get out and get in some goddamn good trouble. And if you see fucking Donald Trump, say, listen, you're a one-eyed jack, Dad, because I seen the other side. And this fucking poem is Marlon Brando, dig. So the last person I'm bringing up, I was honored to be one of the co-editors for Beat Not Beat. He is Mr. Electric. He is the Vincent van Gogh of poetry and performance. He's a teacher. I love teachers, man. I love teachers. I wouldn't be here without them. Please show your love for Rich Ferguson.
Thank you for this amazing book, Daniel, essay. Richard, you guys are the pure power trio of poetry. My poem's on 167, 3 a.m. Waffle House waitresses. Buy the book, read it. Buy the book, read all these amazing poems, see all the amazing art. This is Love Up. Our mothers have gifted us with our first breath, and death will take our last. Between those moments, we are so many things. Cradle, cosmos, convicts in our skin. We romp, we stomp, we bark and lark, we slip and slide, we kiss and cry. We sparkle and choir, shadow and fire, in all the many ways love burns.
Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up.
Love is feather-footed rumble and tumble jumble, a radio oasis, a dance floor float along. Love is the starting whistle at the honey factory, a groove, a mood, a bad tattoo removed, an ocean of devotion with a watermark of wow.
Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up.
Love is voice voltage to energize and power our lives. With a well-honed noun or verb, we can sweep someone off their feet. But when adjectives turn tragic, we're swept under the rug. Sometimes we speak in hushed tones when reciting poems, prayers, or lullabying a child. I like it when we're loud, when we sound like gasoline saints in the combustible church of cool.
Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up.
Bring back the devastated and immolated, those who fall in despair first into the pill or whiskey bottle, those who've leapt from bridges and hotel balconies, believing such a sudden exit from existence was the only way to live. Bring back the war-deadened, disease-stricken, the homeless and impoverished, traumatized children and their broken mothers, anyone who's ever felt shipwrecked by affection.
Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up. All you misfits and singers, street sweepers and wisdom seekers, the voiceless and choiceless, overworked nurses and armchair numismatists, rock collectors, rock guitarists, anyone whose inner child has ever suffered from a bad hair day.
Shake off your chains, strip out of your doubts, open your doors, open your hearts. Open your doors, open your hearts, come down off your mountains, emerge from the underground, fill your pockets with love's many syllables so we can find brighter, more beautiful ways to live.
Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up. Peace shine, heart shine, love your voice, love up. Peace up, love the up, love your voice, love your shine. Rise and shine, shine your rise, up the love, love up.
Oh, yes, Kenan. I'll see you in the street. I'll see all you in the street. Thank you for coming. Richard, Daniel, you want to come up? Go ahead, Richard.
Daniel, come on up.
Come on up, Daniel. You want to say a few words first, Richard?
Sure. So this is the launch of a series of readings. The first one is here in Los Angeles. The last one is at La Mama in New York City. I'm not a travel agent, but I urge you to go out to that one as well because all of our New York readers are going to be there. Daniel, say a few words.
I want to say something real quick there first. I want to call out to Christy and Andy because they're huge supports for my man Daniel here, and they're beautiful people.
Thank you. Richard is a travel agent, so see him after the show, and he'll be booking your arrangements. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. I don't think there's anything else that I could say that hasn't been said tonight. I mean, amazing group of poets. I mean, there's 150 artists, 150 sparring artists in this book, so that's a lot. And imagine I was able to get them all into a 302-page book, you know? So it's...
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
And from people all over the world around the book, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's my... Thank you, man. It was a pleasure putting this thing together, you know? Okay. Cool. We'll talk more about that later. But
she's a remarkable human being, dedicated her whole life to poetry. Yeah,
thank you.
Okay.
So after the reading, went the poets to get a photo on that stairwell out in the lobby. Because I'm tired of like the photos always being here with the red drapes. Unless we change out. Oh, it's blue now. Wow. Okay. Well, steps.
Yes.
I want to do the steps.
Do it on the steps.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Single file out the door. Thank you so much, everybody.